Right here is where you access the office. Now, this building had, if you weren't inside that building, you would not know the grandeur that was inside that building. The floors in that level were all inlaid mosaics of marble. And then leading, oh, and I'm assuming it was mahogany wood. Just gorgeous, everything gorgeous. What appeared to be mahogany. Then, to get up to the second floor is where the classrooms were. You went up this stairway that I think rivaled the Titanic stairway. It was marble steps. I don't know how wide they were. They're pretty wide. With mahogany banisters. And they went up to a landing, more mosaics. Big mosaic. Then they split. And it was sort of like girls, boys. I don't know if it was designed that way, but that's how it worked out. And then those stairways branched. Again, marble. And then they went up to second floor, which had 3 classrooms? 3 classrooms for 8 grades. At any given time, the room was filled with my cousins. We just had a gaggle of us at any given time up there because Rosedale was, some of our families were prolific Catholics, had a lot of kids. So Sister Benedict was 7th and 8th. You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
I don't remember the other 2.
There were 3 grades.
3 nuns.
3 grades.
3 grades,
Oh,
6,
yeah.
7, 8, he said.
Oh, was it 6th, 7th, and 8th? I thought it was 7th and 8th, and then 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7.
Oh, okay, okay. But that's, I mean, Slovak was a language they taught. Jeden, dva, tri, čtyři, pět, šest, osm, osm, devět, deset. Still remember it, 1 to 10. Then out of the classrooms, heading west, you had what I said earlier. You have the nuns' dining room, priest on the other side of the hall, the priest's dining room, our cafeteria, the kitchen, and then coming down those white steps was the outside of the kitchen. And they used to serve us boiled liver. I'm not talking fried with fancy onions and gravy. It was boiled. And, you know, they give you that list of 40 things and you get 1 point for something you wouldn't eat. Well, there's always that one thing, liver. And I just haven't gotten hungry enough. Because I could probably eat it if I got hungry enough. But boiled liver. And this wasn't your personal choices. There was no grilled cheese bar. There was no salad bar. You ate what was placed on your plate. There was absolute truth. put your hand out. Absolute truth. Whack! So, I don't know for sure, but I do believe I held the record for holding my entire serving of liver in my mouth, saying my prayers that they could understand them, until I got out to the first garbage can that they couldn't see, and I would turn my face inside out. I just couldn't stomach that boiled liver. Otherwise, though, we had good food, I thought. Fresh milk, that's for darn sure. And then there were times when, if it was a nice day after lunch, maybe we'd all go pick apples from the orchard in the fall. We'd pick apples, and they would then go to the farm and be made into cider, and then we'd have ice cold cider to drink, but ice cold milk, and it was whole milk with cream, not just a spattering. It was a load of cream on the top of that ice cold pitcher. So that was the second floor. Third floor, that was the girls' quarters. No, I'm missing something.
Yeah, first floor was what you were just talking about. Second floor was the girls, and then the third floor was the boys.
Okay.
The very top was the boys.
The very top was the boys.
Yeah.
Yes, which was like almost like the attic.
Correct.
Had the dormers and stuff. Yes. Okay. Now, you know, when they talk about Jednota had for the orphans, they had they taught them how to work on farms. They taught them agriculture. They had singing. They would sing. They would play baseball. Now here's the one. They had a band, and we never knew the magnitude of the band until my buddy and I went upstairs and looked into this room, and there are band uniforms with Jednota on. And in this room are tubas, clarinets, trumpets, trombones, flutes. I mean, it had to have been a grand band. I don't know if anybody is old enough to remember Jednota having a band. I never saw any pictures. Anybody see a picture of the Jednota band marching by? Maybe in a parade? I've not seen a thing. But up in that room, they had all these band instruments and uniforms of the Jednota band. It was intriguing, but it just gives you a snapshot of what was there. When I was there, it was certainly toned down. It was a school. So, this road then went up to what was called the Little Woods, and across the turnpike was what was called the Big Woods. So Jednota owned mostly from Route 441 to Route 230. And when they bought our farm, they then owned from White House Lane to Mead Heights. that was a chunk of land.
Yeah.
So they say that Jednota has retained 23 acres east of the connector route, which would almost have to be the side of this hill. But I don't know that D&H bought what we call the big woods across the turnpike. I'm not sure that that was part of that land deal. I don't know that that constitutes 23 acres or not. I just don't know.
Bill, I think they own the other side of the connector of the 441. So
Okay.
23 acres.
Okay, well, I'm hearing at this point that D&H does own the other side of the turnpike to 441.
Well, from the turnpike to 441, that's a lot more than 23 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's where the bridge is going over Silver Drive. From there up to 441 is still 23 acres.
Ah, okay.
That's it.
They also own the memorial, the land where the memorial is. They also own the land where the memorial is.
Oh, yes, and D&H still has Jednota as the deed owner to the memorial here at the gate.
So what's left of the big woods D&H on?
Yeah.
Connector route really messed that up. Yeah. Pause.
So you can sort of see how I liken Jednota to a microcosm of Milton Hershey. You know, they were self-sufficient, just a little more forward thinking at that time.
Pause. Bill, what year did the barn burn? Benny's or Benny? You would know that.
The question is, what year did the barn burn? I'm going to say 68.
Earlier.
64. Yeah,
65.
Yeah, some 5 or 4.
Well, okay, this is my vision of the barn burning. I wasn't in Boy Scouts. I was in an organization called Civil Air Patrol. At age 12, you could join. We had our meetings over in Hershey. And I remember coming home from a meeting and we saw the orange glow from Hershey. We were in a Hershey VFW. And we got closer. Then we knew who it was. And of course, they couldn't go any further to get me home. So I said, just let me out here. When I got up to where the barn, to the fire, I had my little Air Force uniform, but I was Civil Air Patrol. They utilized me, little guy, as traffic control. However, I kind of weaseled my way up because no one could find Walt
You
Moser.
see him grab my face.
Farm. And this went on for quite some time. They couldn't find Walt Moser's farm. And after a couple hours, they found him. So I was very, very good friends with the Moser family. So that was that was a devastating night. And more than a devastating night, it was just devastating.
Bill, did you want to take questions now? I'll try to get the mic to people.
Oh, okay.
Quick question. What caused that fire? Was it ever determined?
Spontaneous combustion. When they put hay away, even though they had a fan, If the hay has a certain amount of dampness to it, and it's stacked like that, it will develop a heat that will cause it to smolder and just burst into flame. That's my story, I'm sticking to it.
Do you have a question, Jack? Jack has a question.
Is the right side of the picture towards Middletown?
Yes, that's east. That's Mead Heights.
Okay, my question is, I kind of remember coming out of Jamesway Plaza, you'd come to the west, and then you'd make a left turn and come over to 230, and the printery was on the right. When you used to come out of Jamesway.
The printery was on the Jednota flat side of 230.
All right. Was Jamesway there then?
Well, on that,
Homestead Plaza was there, but you came out on the one side, you came out on the west side of the printer.
And you come around, correct, that's what I'm saying. You come out of the plaza, back to the back of the printery to get to 230.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know when Homestead Plaza, I don't know, I guess I might have been 12, 13 when that was completed. And I was born in 51, so 64, 3? Okay.
Because I remember the airport having displays there for Armed Forces Week. Well, they also had it out here.
And other questions?
That might be a weird one. Why did they come to Lower Swatara Township? I mean, why did we start in Lower Swatara Township with Jednota? And even move?
Well, they
The original priest.
they looked, they found this track. Why? I have no idea.
The one father came first, and he was a visionary, and I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Father Furta.
Okay, yeah, and he was a visionary. And he saw this part, he helped purchase some of the land. And then he wanted to do an orphanage because there were, at that time, there were a lot of children that their parents were killed in machine and
Mining and industrial
And
accidents.
he
There
said
was
he
no
wanted to take
ocean.
care of them. He wanted to do a school, give them religion, help them with the language. I mean, I wish there was an organization like that for redheads, you know? I would love to have like a mentor like that. And it was just a great thing. And he was just, yes, they were all originally.
It's a long way from Cleveland.
I know.
Township.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe he was just.
We came with 4 men
outlier.
first,
Yeah,
then 11.
but it was his vision.
But just how far you have to drive, how much farmland you went over, how many older.
Well, Central Pennsylvania, to think about it, was a wonderful place to farm. You know, think of all our great farms, the Nisley farms, the James Young farms, we had great farms, you know, great
No
land.
question.
Yeah.
Just I'm thinking until you drive the way through Ohio and.
The first Catholic orphanage in the nation. Yeah.
Yes.
In the nation.
Other questions?
So we had this.
To someone, other memory.
You know what happened to his statue that used to sit in front of
You know, that might have had, had 60.
Bill, question.
Do you know what happened to the statue that sat in front of the orphanage of Father Forley? This statue.
I think they took it back to Cleveland. Did we read that? Yeah, I'm not positive. I think we read it, that they took it back to Cleveland. Other questions? If I remember correctly, part of the new printery
teacher, and students,
I have a question. Is there anyone here from D&H? Because we did invite them. I just wonder if anyone came. Actually, we had a couple books on D&H, and if you ever get a chance to read their history, it is amazing. They were visionaries too, and they're an employee-owned company. Anyone want to share other memories of Jednota?
I was there from, my name is Terry Shaw. I was a Makula, and my mom's name was Balco. And she was there, my aunt was there, and my two uncles were there, because they were actually orphans. My mom was there when she was, I think, 3 years old, and I think that was in 1960. And they were there, yeah, and then they went on to...
That's shortly after the building was built.
Right, and there was loads of orphans in at that time. When I was there was not that many people there.
Do you remember the grandeur of the first floor?
Yes, I used to have to scrub those marble steps. Yes, yes, and when the apples were in, we used to sell apples along the front to people from Homestead Airport Base that would come by. Yeah. So, yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, does somebody know, my voice doesn't carry, so, does somebody know, the chores, like the orphans do chores?
I'm gonna give this one to you. The lady over there, would like to know what were the daily chores
Or
of
who
the
did
people
the
living
chores?
at the home?
Me, when I was first there, I had to do the steps. That was the first thing. I don't remember, you got a little bit harder ones. At the end, when I was like in 8th grade, I had to shine those floors, those mahogany floors you were talking about, with the shiners. And we had to scrub the steps too. So, yeah.
That continued into the 60s as well.
Everybody, I believe, was assigned by age. You were assigned different chores, correct?
Yeah.
Don, you or Tim have anything, or Benny?
I love Sister Bonaventure. We were like this. She was the best.
What about Sister Josephine?
I remember her, she was 16. Yeah.
And whenever you did something good for someone,
We can't hear you back here.
They can hear me.
I can't hear you. I'm pretty young yet.
No. Anyway, Sister Bonaventure, she had long pockets that went down like about to her knees. And if you did something good for her, erasers or some wash or something, she'd reach down in there, and man, she'd grab some candy down there. And this is before they were individually wrapped. So it was for her, but he loved looking at her and everything like that. And it was a treat.
I like that.
Any other memories?
Yes, I have a question.
Bill?
Got anything done? Oh, good.
The lady in the back. This is Bill's wife, by the way. The lady in the back.
Oh, this lady. You again.
Me again. I'm fascinated with
this whole story, and I was wondering if how many were in the classrooms when you guys went? I mean, how many per classroom?
There were 6 in my class.
6?
There was 2 in my class.
Oh, and that was 3 grades?
Yeah,
3 grades?
No. 6 in my class, but then there were 2 other classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 6 in his class.
Oh, okay, I see. I see.
And there were perhaps, let's see, me, 2 of my cousins, and 3. So, 8, I was going to say 7, but okay, 8 in my class. So this was very close to a one-room schoolhouse numbers.
Yeah, that's.
It was interesting how.
There was over 4,000 children that went through Jednota, through the classrooms.
Now,
So that's how many lives they touched.
yeah, now that's that 4,000. The way I read that, that was 4,000 Jednotians, the kids that stayed there. I don't know that they counted all the base kids, the kids from the Jednota Flats, the Rosedalians. I don't know that that was the same number. That might have been just 4,000 of the Slovak Jednota. Any other questions? Hey, I'm coming back.
I'm interested in local architecture. You said the stone on that building looked like sandstone. Does that have come from the quarries and comes down the brownstone quarries?
I don't know.
I think the fence did.
Yeah, that's another whole story there. But
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It is.
It's chiseled and everything.
And incidentally, people that know about that stone can tell you which of the 3 quarries it came out of. Because of the color.
Some of them, when they were working.
That's what I heard.
A lot of them were just from the area. They couldn't have gone elsewhere. They were children in the area. It's all like there wasn't a lot of work.
Discriminated against, like when they.
No, they were welcome.
They built a park in Littleton. I grew up in the Warriors. People, I don't know, people were like, that was so long here. I mean, there were people dying of mines left and right. But, as far as.
Any other questions?
Where I lived in West Hazelton, they had
It's completely different.
a charity home. In that school was
Last year, Jednota was a school.
It was awful.
My cousin,
It wasn't Slovak.
here we go. One of my cousins was the last there, and that would have been 69.
Yes.
Because she was 5, she was born in 61, 66, so 66, 67, 67, 68, 68 or 69. Or no, just 2. To go through all 8 years. Yeah, his brother went through all 8 years. He was the last kid to go all 8.
Through high school.
Yeah. It's incredible. You know, these kids, they went to public school. We had kids
I don't often find gifts from people who